Welcome, everyone. I am decidedly not Conor Mac. That is Mr. Dabby Cab, NCAA net profit, college basketball betting. Cab, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to see how you're gonna at least have. If you're gonna break down this card with me, you're gonna have some official bets, right?
We'll find out as we go along on this show. Connor, unfortunately, having some technical issues with the Cox, and he might need a new router. That kind of
Say
sucks.
that again.
Yeah, with the Cox, he's got Cox communication.
Cox issues.
Cox issues, yeah. So okay. We'll hopefully see Connor sometime soon. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? But he has to get a new router, maybe. But we'll see. I will be hosting the show along with my guy Dabby Cab. I'm obviously very prepared for this slate today. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I'm ready to get into it. Cab, are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. So are you going to intro these games or you need me to?
I will intro these games. These intros will be short, perhaps, and it might be a quicker show today, but it's going to be an entertaining show nonetheless, because whenever Cab and I come together, it at least is fun to watch. But before we get into all this shenanigans, let's shout out Pubblepalooza. It is coming. Let's call it out now. Pubblepalooza 2 is on the horizon, March 24th through the 26th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to be a whole lot of fun. You can see the events on the screen, and I will drop the link to sign up for these events. If you do not sign up for these events, you do not exist in my head. So
what the fuck? I got to sign up?
You have to sign up.
Everyone come on. All right.
Everyone sign up, please, and thank you. Like I said, if you don't sign up, you don't exist. So if you want to participate,
Nate, sign us up because we're going to take that money on that cornhole tournament.
You don't have to sign up for the cornhole. There you go. There's your
sign up for this.
Saving grace. There's saving grace. So and Nasty Nate has another gift for me. Thank you, Nasty Nate. I'm gifting you with taking my tattoo virginity with you. So there you go.
I still click these. Oh, there we go.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So let's get into game one, Cab. Let's get into game one. It's going to be a whole lot of fun talking about these games. Shout out to the chat, Rocco. And I call him Rocco. It's Rocco. I still call him Rocco Rogers. Mike M, Nasty Nate, Smoking Mirrors, all you guys. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Shout out to Arthur Mead, who became a member yesterday as well. Let's talk about Kent State and the Buffalo, not the Bulls, not the Bison, but shout out to the Buffalo. Khalil Mack once upon a time from Buffalo. Kent State versus Buffalo, an interesting matchup because I tell you what, Cab, you see a lot of road favorites in college basketball, a lot more than in NBA or something like that. So tell me what you think about Kent State and Buffalo here.
This is an interesting game. Initially, when I look at it and I see that 4.5, I want to jump on Kent State first half. Kent State right now 19-5 this year. Buffalo 12-12. But when you dive into these numbers a little bit on these two teams, this is a Kent State offense going up against a really good Buffalo defense here. So it's going to be a fun matchup. And at the end of the day, man, I think this might just be this might be a game that comes down to the last shot. I still think Kent State wins, but 4.5 is probably too many points here for Buffalo. I stayed off this game ultimately at the end. I think the total is telling. The total at 152.5 is a little high for Buffalo for my taste. So that's kind of what kept me off. But yeah, I leaned Kent State first half and then ended up staying off.
I will admit, whenever I see these higher, and high for college basketball, in my opinion, 150-ish, it's weird for me, especially because I'm used to seeing like a 126, 120 around there. So yeah, it's a weird high total there. But Cab, nothing official there. Let's move on to the ranked game. It's called the ranked game. This is the marquee matchup of the card. Xavier versus Butler. People forget. Thad Matta coaching Butler. People forget that.
Xavier Butler sucks.
Yeah, I like Thad Matta. I was hoping he would have a good year here. But it takes time to build a program. First year, whatever. Xavier, a surprisingly good team for me. I never expected Xavier to be that good, but this is kind of all they do here. Are you throwing up the X here?
Yeah. I'm going to ride with Xavier here. I took him in the first half at 3.5. You got this Xavier team at 19-5, Butler at 12-13. Both of these teams have been on completely different trajectories all year. In the last 5 games, the only loss for Xavier was a loss where they slipped up against Creighton at Creighton. But, they did have that win at UConn, so they have shown that they can go on the road and they can still win games. They beat UConn on the road 82-79. Then you look at the other side on Butler. They did get the win over St. John's last game, the 2-point win over St. John's, but 5 losses in a row before that.
I knew that. Yep, I definitely knew that.
Yeah, and you look at points per game, you got Xavier, they're 6th in the nation, okay? They put up a bunch of points per game, whereas you got Butler 308th in the nation. You look at field goal percentage, you got Xavier 3rd in the nation. You got Butler 210th in the nation. These teams are just on completely different levels. 40.4% for Xavier, only 34.9% for Butler. Xavier's a better rebounding team, so they're better on the glass. They're going to create more turnovers. Xavier's just the better team, top to bottom. And with the way they put up points, the reason why I like Xavier here is I just don't see – the most points Butler's put up was the last game in the win against St. John's. They got 68. Before that, 52, 49, 58, and 56. I just don't see how I don't see how Butler keeps up with Xavier. So I got Xavier first half, and I might end up getting on him full game also.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good look by you, Dabby Cab. I do remember earlier today we had our guy Jimmy and Ian Cameron breaking down this card. Butler just keeps hammered when they're this high of underdogs. It seems like throughout the season that just became a trend for them. So maybe it's one of those things when you know, you gotta let go of the rope. And by the way, Cab, I was talking that shit earlier. I have 2 college basketball bets I have in already because I bet this morning. So suck it. I'm excited to talk about it. Two plays, and I would really appreciate them winning because I'm already down this week with my local, which I unfortunately am back with, and I don't like it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that game when it comes up. 2 games. Next, let's talk about Marist versus St. Peter's. And obviously, we all know St. Peter's, Shaheen not there anymore, et cetera, not the same team, but a 3.5-point favorite at home. Kind of makes sense to me on the face of it. The Marist, shout out to the Red Foxes, a good logo, by the way, on Marist. And this is a total where I can also, this total screams college basketball, 123.5 there. Honestly, on the face of it, I just like Marist a little more, so I lean Marist, but that's obviously not an informed opinion. And let's go to our guy, Dabby Cab, who does have the informed opinion.
All right, so you look at St. Peter's. They went on the road, and they got that 4-point win a few weeks ago. And I don't see why they can't do the same thing here at home. Last time these teams played, St. Peter's, like I said, took care of them on the road. Both these offenses suck. This isn't a game that I typically am super interested in. But St. Peter's is better on defense. So you got 2 terrible offenses, and St. Peter's is better on defense. In their first game, St. Peter's was able to force 5 turnovers. They pulled down double digits rebounds more than on the other side. So St. Peter's is just a better team. While both of these teams' offenses are terrible, I think on the boards and I think on defense, St. Peter's is a better team. They might shoot a little bit worse, but both these teams, like I said, just suck on offense. So I don't hate St. Peter's here. I don't see any reason why at home they can't win by 4.
Fair. So no official play here for you, Dabby Cap.
No, I'm off this game. I got nothing to do with this.
All right, beautiful.
There's good spots on the board today. This isn't one of them.
Well, I hope one of my spots is a good spot for you. Shout to Preston in the chat as well. Appreciate you, Preston. I'm sure when you clicked on this, you weren't expecting to see.
Wait, is Preston going to do the dinner with us?
Preston, I don't know. I don't think so. Preston's not that kind of guy. That's not his vibe. He's a straight shooter, that Preston. Shout out to Preston. Let's talk about one of my bets here, Dabby Cab.
Okay.
One of the things I've learned by watching James the Bag is that I watch, and if it's a 99% on one side of the spread and the line's moving the other way, I'm going to take the other side. It really is profitable on several occasions. It's not 100%, obviously, but it definitely hits more than it doesn't. And that's one of these spots here with Ryder. Shocking amount of money on them this morning. And I'm not Jimmy the Bag, so I don't have those numbers in front of me. I don't have his accounts. But it was a 99% on Ryder this morning, and Fairfield line was moving towards Fairfield. So I took Fairfield plus 4.5, and I ride on with that. I have not updated the graphics from this morning, so I need to double check, and I would love to see the lines now, and I need to do that as a good show host. But that's what I'm on here, Cab. What do you want?
Man, so I'm glad you pointed out this money, because like when you look at this, like anybody who bets these games has to look at this and just want Ryder. I mean, Ryder went on the road against Fairfield and won 78-69 just 3 games ago. So these teams have already met, and that was on the road. Now they're back at home. Ryder's been hot last 5 games. They haven't lost. They've beaten Manhattan twice, St. Peter's, Fairfield. And you look at Fairfield, they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. And on that losing streak, they've been struggling putting up points. They haven't put up 70 points in any of their last 5 games. And that's really where they struggle. Fairfield just only 64.1 points per game. That's 339th in the nation. Their field goal percentage is only 40.1%. That's 348th in the nation. It's about as bad as it gets. 3-point percentage, 26.6%. That is 362nd in the country.
Yikes.
So I get it. You got 99% of the money, and they're trying to say, hey, please bet Ryder. For that reason, I'm not going to bet Ryder. But I can't bet Fairfield here. I can't bet on a team that fucking shoots that bad. I just can't.
And that's one of the cases where my ignorance in these sports really comes in handy. I'm sure I would feel the same way about Fairfield in this matchup because I've literally not seen them touch a basketball one time, and that's kind of one of the biases you've got to remove, obviously. And then hopefully I'm right here. We'll see, but I'm on it. Fairfield plus 4.5, minus 110. Let's pray to God it hits. Next game, Quinnipiac versus Niagara here, Cab. And let me tell you, just a random note, I love these colorways. This matchup is fantastic, and I hope both teams win because I like their colors. What do you think here about Quinnipiac?
I think this is a game for them. Niagara let me down last Friday also. And when you dive into the efficiency margins on these two teams, there's a huge difference in these two programs. Quinnipiac, however you're fucking saying it, 132nd in college basketball with a plus 2.88 rating. And then you look at Niagara on the other side, they're all the way down at 235th. They have a minus 5.59 rating so far. These offenses also completely 2 different levels, where you got the Bobcats averaging 74.4 points in their last 5 games. On the other side, the Purple Eagles are only scoring 64.8. So yeah, I like Quinnipiac here a lot.
Oh, are you on it officially?
Sure. That'll be my second official one today.
Well, I just want to know, Cap. I want to know where your money's at.
I haven't posted anything yet, but I've already bet this one, if that's what you're asking. Yes.
Okay, that is what I'm asking. Yes. All right. So Quinnipiac officially on the board for Dabby Cab, and I appreciate everyone for watching. As always, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm decidedly not Conor Mac. Connor's having a little bit of internet issues, unfortunately, so I am thrust into hosting the show, and my immense knowledge of college basketball is seeping through. I'm sure of it. Siena versus Mount St. Mary's here. Dabby Cab, another road favorite here. I'll keep saying it. I never really feel comfortable taking any road favorites. And college basketball is the den of road favorites. So I passed on this game, obviously, for many reasons on top of ignorance. What did you think about this?
Well, let me tell you this for your road favorite thing in college basketball. You can get value in teams in the first half when you can get it down to like a bucket or something, like a 1.5 or a 2 or something like that on the better team. When you look at this, Siena's dropped 2 in a row. Lost to Manhattan. They lost to Niagara. Only 2 points to Niagara there. I think they covered the spread because I got fucked, so I don't think I know. But you look at this, they're just a better team here, hands down. Siena, they're only 6-5 on the road, but they're heading into the Mountaineers, who are 3-7 at home as hosts this season. That's just terrible. So it's not like they protect their home court. 3-7 is about as bad as it gets. And when you dive furthermore into the numbers here, pretty much every metric that you can look at, Siena's a better basketball team, hands down, just across the board. I haven't not bet this one yet, but I lean heavily on Siena. I think they can cover this spread.
All right, beautiful. Guy Parlay J likes Siena as well. Tay Butta asking if McCollum is in. Obviously, you're talking about CJ, right? I don't know. Is there a McCollum in this game, Cab?
I don't have the injuries pulled up. I can hold on. You can go into
Okay.
the next
Well,
one.
while you do that, I'll bring up a great idea from our guy Swiss Horton saying that I should dress up like a one betting with the bag guest every week now. Apparently, so I should dress up as Jimmy. I'll come on as Dutch one day with a cutoff. I'll draw a bunch of tattoos on my arms, slick back my hair like Ian. Who knows? Who knows? And by the way, Mike M letting us know there is, and he's questionable. So shout out to
Thank
CJ.
you, Mike, because I was about to have to pull that up.
Say thank you for CJ McCollum or the McCollum in this game as well. Let's move on here as I make my crude and dumb jokes. Iona versus Canisius. And boy, oh boy, I know the one thing you need to know about Iona. That's my guy, Rick Pitino. I petitioned for UTSA to hire Rick Pitino while he was still banished. And now look at him just dominating away. I wouldn't say dominating, I guess, but he's got a good Iona squad here, Cap. What do you think about him?
Motivation is something that you always want to look into when you look into these games. This is one where Iona want this game. They need this game. 16-7 coming in here. Canisius is 5-17. They're not having a good year. That's why the spread's where it is. But like I said, Iona needs this, and when a team needs it, I think they come out hard. When you let me pull up some of the numbers for you here on this one. When you pull up these numbers here, Iona, they're shooting better. They're 95th, putting up 75.4 points per game. On the other side, you're only getting 69.7, good for 228. Field goal percentage, you got a 5% different here. Canisius only shooting 40.6, 340th in the country. Iona is shooting 45.1%, 149th. Again, this is another one where every metric, you're just looking at a flat out a better team. Now you are asking for a much bigger spread here. You're not getting that -4 because it's on. But yeah, I think Iona can cover this spread. I mean, I wouldn't look any other way. I'm not betting this though, simply because of the fact that when you look into how many times this is going to be up in the air. I think they're going to win by 10. Maybe they're going to win by 14. So.
Okay. Fair enough. By the way, I just want to revisit one of my favorite Rick Pitino quotes. While in the courtroom, I'll say it again, while in a courtroom, Rick Pitino said that his sexual encounter with a young lady that was suing him at the time, quote, took less than 15 seconds. So thank you to Rick Pitino. Next up, VMI versus East Tennessee State. Rick Pitino's a dog. His courtroom quotes are hilarious, Cap. If you want some comedy, go look that shit up. It's very funny what he had to say in front of a courtroom full of people. VMI versus East Tennessee State. And as someone that grew up in Virginia, let me tell you, the VMI is not a good basketball school. The troops are not good at basketball. And the Keydets, as they're referred to as, I think are always fade material here. But word on the street is East Tennessee State is extremely bad as well. And laying 10.5 with them seems like a challenge here. I just really do not think VMI has got much in them. But what do you think here, Cab?
I don't think VMI has a lot either, but I think they play hard, and I think they could maybe cover this spread here. When you look at the matchup history, East Tennessee State here, last game they played back on December 31st, won 64-50. So they did cover there. They would have covered there. They won by 14. And they've won 24 out of the last 26 match head-to-head with these two teams. And then if we want to look at some of the trends too, VMI is 2-7 their last 9 games overall. What in the fuck is beeping? 8-20 ATS. So that's just to 8-20-2 ATS their last 30 games. So they're not covering spreads. Eastern Tennessee State's the same thing. 8-21 their last 29 home games. Okay. And 7-15 their last 22 games overall. Neither of these teams are covering spreads, and that's just not something that I feel like getting involved with. I think VMI probably can cover this point spread, but I also think it's a toss-up, so I'm off this one.
Yeah, pass game for me. Fun fact, Cab, the pinnacle of my wrestling career happened at VMI.
There was no pinnacle of that career.
No, there was. We were preseason tournament, so it was before I went 2-14. that year. Preseason tournament, I called this guy out. I told my coach, I want that guy. That guy looks like a little bitch, and I beat him. I beat his ass. Shout out to him and shout out to me. Next game, Youngstown State versus IPFW. Cab, this is what you get when you host a college basketball show with me. I had plenty of time to prepare, obviously, and I'm using my copious notes to download and break down these games. Now, IPFW and Youngstown State, an interesting matchup. Again, shout out to our guy Swiss Horton, a very astute observation by Swiss Horton. He said there are, quote, confirmed no Penguins in Youngstown State. So that's a very interesting note there. What do you think about this game?
I think you just threw my thought process up. Speaking of Penguins, they've won 9 of their last 10 games, 4 of their last 5 road games. They're playing great offensively. Even when they go on the road, they're scoring more than 80 points per game. They've done well at the free throw line, making 77% of their free throws. They do good rebounding the ball. Just all around a good team. And when you look on the other side, since we're using Penguins and names like that, the Mastodons, the Mastodons are not playing. Did I say that correctly? What the fuck is
that's a Mastodon? Hell yeah.
The fuck is a Mastodon?
Something big.
Like an old elephant or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Anyways, the Mastodons are not playing well on defense, especially their last few games where they've been giving up 79 points per game. Man, this is. I really don't see them slowing down the Penguins here. I think this is a Youngstown State spot, smash spot. I like them both first half, full game. So
yeah, I love that. Swiss did confirm it's an elephant, and he did confirm no Penguins in Youngstown. We like that as well. Preston shutting out our guy Mario Barrios. He's going to be boxing in the Alamo Dome tomorrow. Bet him, maybe not. Who knows? Friend of Pub Sports Radio as well. And G Martinez is perplexed at my 2-14 freshman year varsity wrestling record. He is perplexed, and I can say it is factual. It is factual.
He's not perplexed by the 2-14. He's perplexed by the 2. He's trying to figure out who the fuck are the 2 people that you that let you beat them in wrestling.
Pin their ass, Cab. Pin their ass. Let's talk about Robert Morris, Cleveland State here. I've got absolutely nothing here, Cap. I don't know shit dick about either of these schools, but I do respect the Cleveland State Vikings a lot. So shout out to that, and shout out to everyone watching this very interesting show. And I will say again, Dabby Cab, Conor Mac did have internet issues, and that's why I'm hosting this show, and that's why you're getting all this lovely content here. But let us know, Dabby Cab, what do you want here?
I'm off this game, but I can tell you what I think about it.
Please do.
For this one, I think the Vikings probably cover this spread. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, 4 of their last 5 home games. They do good on offense. They're putting up more than 75 points per game at home. They don't miss free throws, which when you're asking me to lay a number like this, I got to know if my team can shoot free throws. If not, I'm staying the fuck away from the full game. They make their free throws, 74% of their free throws. They're aggressive on offense. They grab more than 10 rebounds on offensive end per game at home, which is great. I think Cleveland State is probably a good play here. I think Cleveland State covers this. I think it comes down to free throws at the end, and I think they'll hit their free throws to cover it.
Dabby, do you have a DJ name?
What?
A DJ name? You don't have a DJ name?
DJ Cab.
Well, let me tell you, there's a new one, and I think this is a good one. We have DJ names now. Like, we're like a duo DJ. I'm Master Dong, and you're Master Bong.
Yeah, so you like Master Dong, like big wieners, and I like
the bulls, the elephants, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Come on. Are you kidding me? Let's move on. Akron versus Ohio, the MAC, right? This is the MAC. Hell yeah, we love the MAC.
Right. Why are you asking me? You at least know the MAC, don't you?
Yeah, I know all the schools and what conference they're in nowadays, especially since everything is shuffled down a bit.
It's like a big conference on Fridays.
Yeah, who knows? If I said MAC, I would be at least like semi-right because I know there's at least 2 of those MACs now, which is hilarious. Akron, Ohio, Cab, what do you have here?
I got Akron here. I like Akron. I took them on the first half money line, actually. Akron's been one of those teams I've had success with betting them this year in the first half. Last game, they had one of their worst, not last game, but last game against Ohio, which is who they're playing here. Last game against Ohio, they had one of their worst defensive outings that they possibly had. And they still were able to out-rebound Ohio by 10 rebounds. It was 33-23 on the glass. And they made more free throws. For me, the Zips right here, they're just the better team. Even with having such a bad defensive game, they led by 19 points that last game at one point against Ohio. This line is fishy as a motherfucker. That's the only thing that's got me scared of it, is I don't understand why the line's where it's at. Again, I took Akron in the first half on the money line. I'm not going to get involved full game. I'm going to stay away from that. But, Akron this year, 17-7. You look at Ohio, 13-11. Akron's coming off that tough loss against Toledo, where they lost by 10 points. I think this is a spot where they come back and get right. So, yeah, I'm on Akron here, first half money line.
Beautiful. All right. Next game on our slate. Little St. Louis Dayton action. Is Travis Ford still the coach at St. Louis?
I think so, yes.
Oh, my God. That dude was coaching Oklahoma State when I got there, and that guy fucking sucked. He's not a good coach. There's my cap on this game. That guy sucks at being a basketball coach. So I would lean Dayton here, Cab. What do you think?
I don't know, man. This is a St. Louis team that pisses me off. They got their last win against Rhode Island, but they didn't cover there. Shout out to Nate, because I'm pretty sure Nate was on Rhode Island, unless he was just saying that because he's
or
from
Providence, whichever school up there.
Well, the last game St. Louis played was against Rhode Island, so that's who I'm talking about. But yes, he likes Providence also, and the Celtics. If we're just going to go all Nate for a second,
yeah.
But yeah, last game 76-71 win over Rhode Island, man. And they didn't cover, like I said. You go 2 games before that, they lost to VCU by 8 points. They lost to Fordham by 10 points. And then you go back 4 games ago, you got them against Davidson. They won by 4, and that game was that was a tough game to watch. St. Louis, in my opinion, should be the better team in this game. They should be the better team in this game, but they haven't been doing that for me lately. And it seems like the more into the season we get, the more this team just lets me down. They're 83rd, putting up 75.8 points per game. Their field goal percentage is at 46.2. Dayton on the other side, 46.8. So both of them shoot at a pretty good clip. You look at the threes, St. Louis is a little better, 144th in the nation at 35%. Dayton on the other side, 33.5%. So they're evenly matched on that side. What this comes down to is I don't know if Dayton's going to be able to make up for the size disadvantage in this game. I think St. Louis has a size advantage that they might be able to exploit. I think there's some value in taking St. Louis plus the 5 here. I just haven't done it.
All right. St. Louis. I hated to hear that because I don't like Travis Ford, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm not a nobody. I don't know anything. So let's move on. And Northern Kentucky, Wright State here. Very interesting matchup here. Again, not knowing anything, my lean is Northern Kentucky. I know they have a historic program of excellence there in Kentucky, and I'm not talking about the Big Blue because they suck. But let's talk about NKU. What do you think here, Cabby?
So, wait, hold on. Who did you just say you like?
I like Northern Kentucky.
Okay, look, I promise I'm not just saying this and I haven't bet it, so it doesn't matter. I'm not just going against you just to go against you here.
You should.
Wait, what?
You should go against me. I don't know shit. I mean, if you guys are going against me, I'm saying you guys are on the right path here, except for the 2 games that I actually did bet.
Well, this is a Wright State team that took the Penguins that we were just talking about. What was it, double overtime into that game? God, I wish I had that in front of me. I'm trying to find it right here. Was it double overtime or triple overtime? It was triple overtime before losing on the road just a week ago. And then in the very next game, the Penguins pummeled Northern Kentucky, right? So that's something to take note of. This is a Wright State team that I just think matches up too well. And at home, you put them at home with the matchup advantage. This is another line that I think is fishy as fuck. I like Wright State here. I don't see any reason why they don't win this game by 3.
Wright State, 40-19 spot right there for Mike M today. And by the way, Mike M, Bobano, and I believe Lucas Ryan also on the Marist over. Mike M's pimp slap play of the day was the Marist over as well. So shout out to you guys. Makes me want to bet it, but I'm not going to because I don't want to lose that money. If I do lose it, it would piss me off. Preston knows exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to our local here. It's frustrating. Last game on our slate, and it is the other game that I did bet, Mr. Dabby Cab. I took Fresno State here. I got +9 because the line of my books suck dick. I took Fresno State.
Bro, you took two of the worst offenses in college basketball today. I just
Fantastic.
want to throw that out there to you. No, I'm not saying you won't cover. I think with your other one, especially with the money, it's telling. But you literally took two of there's 364 teams, 365. I don't know the exact number. You took two of the worst,
right.
Very worst.
Awesome. I'm on them. I'm on them confidently. I wish I could remember exactly why Bobano and Jimmy both liked them this morning. But I'm just going to say that I like Fresno State. And Cab, please tell me why I'm right.
Okay, you're right because Fresno State has the 351st best offense in the nation, putting up 62 flat per game.
Okay. All right.
Their field goal percentage is a little better, at least. They're 42.6% on field goal percentage, which is 281st. They do make their free throws, so you're good on that. But three-pointers, they're only hitting 30.3%, which is 336 in the country. Rebounding, they're 358th in the country, so they also don't rebound. So you've got that going for you. They miss shots, and then they don't get the rebounds.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's the recipe for success. You can't shoot, and when you do shoot, you miss, and you don't get the rebounds. So I like where I'm standing here, Cap, personally.
Exactly. Well, and you have more opportunities for rebounds, too, if you're missing shots. So the fact that they're 358th in rebounds speaks volumes. They're really good at moving the ball around, though, because they average a total of 11.6 assists per game, which is 303rd in the country.
Oh, that's still not good. Oh, no.
Okay, so they don't move the ball around, they don't rebound, and they don't shoot well. Man, look, this should be a Nevada spot. Nevada's their last game was a huge win against New Mexico, though, so maybe that comes into your cap for this game. Maybe you think they just get the win, not the cover here. And if you think that, I can understand. But, man, these two teams are heading in completely opposite directions. Other than the fact that Fresno State is on a 2-game winning streak. But they're coming in here on the road.
They're hot.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. They've won 2 out of their last 5, if that's what you want to call hot.
All right. Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. All right, here we go, guys. What an interesting show. And by the way, don't think we don't have a Q&A because I forgot to talk about Air Force New Mexico. Thank you, G. Martinez, for your excellent question about Air Force New Mexico.
Like one of the only important games.
The last game on the card. It wasn't on our list. We have a Q&A for a reason. G. Martinez puts it in. We give the people what they want, Cat. We give the people what they want. So New Mexico, Arizona State. I just can't bet on an Air Force Academy or any military branch to win a basketball team. I'll be honest. I just don't think it'll happen. But what do you think, Cap?
Well, you don't got to bet on them to win. You just got to bet on them to cover because usually they're getting a lot of points.
Sure.
So
7, right?
Do what?
7 points? Let me double check. Yeah, 7-point spread right now for our guys at New Mexico.
Well, and then so New Mexico, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 games, okay? 3 out of their last 4 road games, including a 84-73 loss to Utah State earlier in the month. Air Force covered in their first meeting, so there's that, and has recently covered against a good Boise State squad. So Air Force does cover. Also, if you look at Air Force's defense, the last 3 games, they've only given up 66 points. An average of 66 points. Obviously, that's what I meant. In their last 3 games, Air Force has only given up an average of 66 points. So they've been playing well on defense, and I think they keep this under the number. I kind of like the under in this game, and I also like Air Force to cover the spread. Leave it at that.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be having a shitty Super Bowl tonight or this weekend if I'm not hitting both my bets this evening. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. What a show, Tabby Cab. What a show. A little 35 minutes talking ball.
There you go. Hey, this was kind of like a flashback or forward because we'll be on the MLB show soon, and I can't wait to do that with you because you actually know what you're talking about. You knew what you were talking about today.
Well, I would argue that I did not know what I was talking about today. Respectfully, I will say I did not know jack shit about today, and I will say I had approximately 2 minutes of prep for this time. So We did it. We did it. It's entertaining. People love it. But that's a good plug there, Cap, because after this, hopefully, I got to double check with my guy, make sure he's ready to go because he's a busy man. He's been out there in the Marlins. But today, Say Hey Plays officially returns to the Baseball World Classic editions. I'll have an interview with my guy, Daniel, here. He covers the Miami Marlins. He's a great guy, and he'll be talking to us about Group D, believe it is, the Miami group, as I call it, with all the good countries, including Venezuela. And he'll be, I was thinking about this in my head, he'll be the second Venezuelan person I've ever talked to that's not my family member. So that will be an interesting conversation.
What?
There. Yeah, I've talked to 2 Venezuelan people in my life.
Bro, you literally try and make people think that you like just migrated to the United States from Venezuela.
I mean, it's funny. It is funny because when I sound like this, you know, they're like, whoa, whoa. It's funny because both sets of people think the same thing. When I talk around Venezuelan people, they're like, whoa, what is this gringo doing? You've been here for years. And then when I talk to people on here, it's like I'm fresh off the boat and all this good stuff. So it's a lovely dichotomy of things. You know, we put it together.
I never thought you were fresh off the boat, Jose. I just want to throw that out there. I know you might want people to think that, but I don't think that's what we think. Maybe the chat can change my mind, but I don't get that feeling, and I don't think anybody else does either.
Well, the pics from Dave did say that you look more Venezuelan than me, so that is also a fact. Let's go into our sponsors real quick. On the other side, we'll be back with best bets from both of us. If you're in San Antonio, I was going to do my best Ian Cameron impression there, but I couldn't. If you're in San Antonio, stop in. Good food, good drinks. Southtown 101. We'll be there very soon for Pubapalooza Dos. Dabby Cab will be there. I'll be there. A whole lot of fun experiences coming our way. Part 3 that I am going to win. I have been practicing my golf. It's pretty good. So I can't wait. It's a poker tournament, a little cornhole that Dabby Cab is allegedly going to win with Nasty Nate. Some bags.
You guys can play if you want. Nobody's going to win, though, but us.
Cab, some would argue that's a sport for white people. So, you know, I don't know. Some people.
It's not even a sport for me, but like if there's money involved and I can, you know, rub it in your face, I'm down.
All right. Fair enough. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Dabby Cab, we might have a late appearance from Conor Mac here. So let me see. We might get a little late Conor Mac and him just give his best bet here, which ultimately would be ideal as well. So let's send Conor the link. And while I do that, Cab, enlighten us. What's your best bet of the day?
Best bet? I'm going to give you guys 2, okay?
Please
I got
do.
Xavier here, first half -3.5. And then I also got Akron in the first half -117 on the money line. So those are the 2 I'm going to go with today.
Very interesting indeed. And by the way, AJ Worst saying I stink. You're probably right. I do need.
He means like literally, not.
Yeah, I got it. I need to take a shower. Well, I get it. You could literally see the smell lines coming off of me like the fucking dirty kid in Charlie Brown. My best bets of the day, and obviously why the raging masses are here. I've got Fairfield +4.5 here, -110. And I've got Fresno, 2 of the worst offenses in the league. We're riding with them today. Fresno +9, -110 as well. I'm going to give Conor a couple more minutes. I'm going to give him 1 more minute to get back in here and see if he can join us. But before we get out of here, Cab, Let the people know where can they find you and where you'll be next.
You can't fucking find me nowhere. And if you look for me, you're going to find some. No, I'm just kidding. Look, Dabby Cab on Twitter and anything that's Pub Sports Radio's got going on, especially Pubapalooza too. You can find me really high, really drunk, and either happy because I'm winning bets or really mad because I'm losing them, because that's what I'll be doing there. So
good. I can't wait. A lot of things are in the works. It'll be very, very interesting indeed. And I cannot wait for it. And I love everyone's chanting for like C-Mac to come out of the back like he's in the curtains or something.
C-Mac. Listen, when you told me you were doing the show with me, I was like, what do you mean? We're canceling it? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, what are you talking about? We're here.
We killed it.
Cool.
Yeah, you did good.
Great.
Yeah.
Cap,
maybe you'll go 2-0 and then we have to have you back next Friday.
Yeah. Definitely. But let me ask you a question, Cap. Before we head out of here, who is like the team you're looking at right now for the Natty, the March the brackets? Like, who is that team that you're looking at right now that you're like, all right, I think that team is going to be one of the teams that I lean on this March Madness, because you're in it every day.
That's such a bold, broad question. Like, do you want me to give somebody who I think has value, or do you want me to just say like who I think is like?
I want a Final Four finalist. I want one of the Final Fours from you right now, Cap. I don't want value. I want.
Okay. Well, so I'll give you two then, because picks from Dave threw Bama in there, them and Houston. Houston. I haven't changed off Houston all year. I know they can go cold on offense sometimes, but yeah, Houston. I think Bama also. So there's two of them. You want all four?
No, I don't. I'll take two. I appreciate it. And by the way, shout out to Tim with an Ooey Pooey reference as well. Ooey Pooey might make it to the Final Four. So who knows?
No, that's definitely not what he was referencing.
Ooey Pooey. I think Ooey Pooey can make it. So shout out to Ooey Pooey.
They're the team that took in like people like out of the stands to play last year. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, I'd love to play for Ooey Pooey. I'd love to put that on my chest right here.
You are Ooey Pooey.
Ooey Pooey. That's how you say it right there. And by the way, AJ Worst mentioning a little Miami.
I like that.
Final Four sleepers.
I like that. I think Miami is that dead ass. AJ, Miami would be my sleeper that I'd go to.
Okay. So. All right. I don't think we're getting Conor Mac, unfortunately. So I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up here then. By the way, it is ironic. I do like Houston as well, like you were mentioning. I've liked them since last year when I watched them beat the shit out of Arizona, and I had Arizona to win the Natty last year. And I saw all the Houston fans take over the AT&T Center in San Antonio, and now the Final Four is in Houston. So let's come on.
There you go.
All right. I can't wait. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Super Bowl or the big game, whichever one you want to call it, it's right around the corner. So stick around. Cab, there's a live stream on, correct? Tonight,
yeah. With my guy Razor and me, we'll be on there. You know, it is for NBA, but dude, we cap everything. Anything that's going on. If we see an opportunity to bet it, we'll bet it and give it out.
Okay, beautiful. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. I have an interview up with my guy Daniel here coming soon, so stick around and keep your new YouTube notifications on and clear them, because they only let you send 3 per 24 hours, so clear those notifications too. And stay tuned, because it's going to be a whole lot of fun. My name's Jose Bouquet. That is over there is Dabby Cab, and we'll see you tomorrow, potentially, because it might end up just being me and Dabby Cab tomorrow.
Hey, I'll have that thing capped. Those games, I bet a little bit more money on. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Sure. I will not have those games capped, because hopefully Conor Mac will be back with you guys tomorrow. My name is Jose Bouquet. That's Dabby Cab. And we'll see you guys next time.
Pubapalooza 2 on the horizon. We're going to have live shows popping off in the Southbound 101. We're going to have a poker tournament, a par 3 golf tournament, UFC San Antonio on the Saturday night. A lot of excitement. Pubapalooza 2!